สวัสดีครับขอต้อนรับท่านผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่รายการ Thaivoice เสียงไทยเพื่อเสรีภาพของคนไทยนะครับภัยดาวดินหรือว่านายจตุพัฒน์บุญพัทรรักษาผู้ต้องหาคดี112และความผิดตามพรบคอมพิวเตอร์นะครับขณะนี้ก็อยู่ระหว่างการพิจารณาของศาลจังหวัดขอนแก่นนะครับว่าจะให้ประกันตัวหรือไม่หลังจากที่เขาถูกเพิกถอนสิทธิประกันตัวในชั้นสอบสวนนะครับและก็นำมาซึ่งกระแสการเรียกร้องนะครับให้เขาได้รับสิทธิการประกันตัวนะครับเพราะว่าเห็นว่าพนักงานสอบสวนอาจจะมีเจตนาที่จะใช้กฎหมายเพื่อการกลั่นแกล้งเขามากกว่าก่อนหน้านี้ก็มีนักวิชาการเครือข่ายนักวิชาการเพื่อสิทธิพลเมืองก็ได้ล่ารายชื่อจำนวน300รายชื่อนะครับเข้ายื่นต่อประธานศาลฎีกาและผู้พิพากษาทั่วประเทศเพื่อที่จะให้พิจารณาคืนสิทธิประกันตัวให้กับภัยดาวดินรวมทั้งฟื้นฟูความเสื่อมถอยของกระบวนการยุติธรรมโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งการพิจารณาคดีของศาลไทยนะครับขณะเดียวกันประเด็นของภัยดาวดินนั้นก็เป็นที่สนใจในระดับต่างชาติด้วยเช่นกันนะครับมีนักการทูตในประเทศไทยหลายประเทศอย่างน้อย4ประเทศก็คือออสเตรียไอซ์แลนด์สวีเดนและนิวซีแลนด์ต่างก็ให้ความเป็นกังวลในเรื่องของการละเมิดสิทธิมนุษยชนที่เกิดขึ้นในภาคอีสานของประเทศไทยนะครับขณะเดียวกันในสหรัฐอเมริกาก็มีกลุ่มเรียกร้องเรื่องของสิทธิประชาชนหรือว่ากลุ่มคนอเมริกันกลุ่มหนึ่งที่ก่อตั้งกันขึ้นมาที่เมืองพิตต์สเบิร์กเพนซิลเวเนียนะครับก็มีการรณรงค์รวมทั้งกลุ่มเครือข่ายภาคีไทยเพื่อสิทธิมนุษยชนไทยก็มีการออกมารณรงค์เรื่องนี้เหมือนกันนะครับเพื่อที่ใช้ไผ่นั้นได้รับการประกันตัวแล้วก็เรื่องของไม่เฉพาะประเด็นเรื่องของการปล่อยตัวไผ่เท่านั้นแต่ยังรณรงค์ให้มีการปล่อยตัวนักโทษทางการเมืองและมีการยกเลิกการบังคับใช้มาตรา112ด้วยนะครับทำไมคนอเมริกันกลุ่มนี้ถึงให้ความสนใจในประเด็นการละเมิดสิทธิมนุษยชนในประเทศไทยและเขามีการเคลื่อนไหวกันอย่างไรนะครับจะพูดคุยเรื่องนี้กับตัวแทนกลุ่ม Center for Inquiry นะครับที่เมืองพิตต์สเบิร์กเพนซิลเวเนียก็คือคุณแอนนอร์แมนนะครับนอกจากนั้นเขายังเป็นผู้อำนวยการบริหารภาคีไทยเพื่อสิทธิมนุษยชนหรือว่า Executive Director of Thai Alliance for Human Rights ด้วยนะครับและก็เป็นที่ปรึกษาของ Center for Inquiry ที่เมืองพิตต์สเบิร์กเพนซิลเวเนียนะครับดีครับขอบพระคุณนะครับที่ให้เกียรติพูดคุยในรายการ Thank you so much for sharing time on my show
ฉันก็รู้สึกเป็นเกียรติที่ได้มาที่นี่คุยอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
ครับ
ค่ะ
ครับ Center for Inquiry and yes you are another position is about Thai Executive Director of Thai Alliance for Human Rights also so just tell me about the two organizations that you involved with
oh okay well I'm theผู้อำนวยการบริหารภาคีไทยเพื่อสิทธิมนุษยชน
Yes it's okay
so yes that organization we're interested in promoting Thai human rights and part of Thai human rights is also pro-democracy but first of all, Thai human rights. And the reason that I was recruited is because it seems kind of odd that I'm a Farang and I'm, ended up as the executive director of a mostly Thai organization. But one of the reasons they recruited me is because they wanted to go really hard against the lèse majesty law. And I have no family living in Thailand. I have no business in Thailand, and so I am not constrained by the Thai lèse majesty law. So anyhow, we've one of our big pushes has been Pai Dao Din. Because his case is so sympathetic, and I brought this case to the attention of the Center for Inquiry, which is and most of the people in Center for Inquiry are atheists. It's Samachik Kong Center for Inquiry Kon Sunyai Ben Kon atheist. แปลว่าคนที่ไม่นับถือพระเจ้าหรือไม่เชื่อเรื่องเทวดา And the Center for Inquiry wants to be sure that government policy is based on science, reason, compassion for humans, and respect for human rights, rather than based on religion. And it believes that there should be free inquiry, like our name says, that all questions should be able to be discussed.
Or why your organization joined to campaign for free pie in Thailand?
Okay, well, we had a Blasphemy Rights Day. Center for Inquiry always has a Blasphemy Rights Day on September 30th. And at that time, September 30th, we were trying to promote the case, bring attention to the case of Tom Dundee, who had just been sentenced to jail for almost 11 years for 2 statements that he had made in speeches. He'd been a red shirt leader, so he got accused of lèse-majesty for these 2 statements, and he got punished twice. On Blasphemy Rights Day, they encourage people to say something blasphemous and to exercise that right, and to break the taboo against not being able to criticize religion. Well, obviously, the lèse-majesty law is an anti-blasphemy law, because the king is treated almost as a god, and he's to be held in a position of worship. So I got the idea to try to take the case of Tom Dundee to Center for Inquiry and see if they would feature it for their Blasphemy Rights Day. Well, when I went to their page, I realized that they were already featuring 2 Thai lèse-majesty cases. I knew that the Center for Inquiry would want to help out Pai Dao Din when they heard this story, and they did. And so that's what happened. We had a meeting, and afterwards they all agreed. They all had been hearing about this case. I kept telling them about it, and so they all, agreed to participate in a demonstration that we put up on the internet to try to help more of the international people know about this, and to let Pai Dao Din and all of his supporters in Thailand know that the international community cares, and not only they care, but they instantly get on board. All they have to do is they hear, oh, somebody is in jail for pushing share on a news article, and they're outraged.
The member of the Center for Inquiry, what they are thinking about lèse-majesty law in Thailand? Most of them, what they are thinking about this law?
They think that it is just the same as the case of Raif Badawi, who was sentenced to 10 years in jail and 1,000 lashes. He was whipped for supposed insults to Islam. It sounds the same. That's what they think. And the fact that this is a young person who is a law student who now may not be able to graduate, who is a pro-democracy activist, who has done things that make him seem like Rosa Parks, that he was brought up in a family that they were nonviolent protesters for environmental and labor rights. This is a very, very sympathetic case. And unfortunately, for the junta, this all happened right around Rosa Parks Day. So Rosa Parks Day was, I think, December 1st, when people celebrate what Rosa Parks did, and Pai Dao Din was arrested on December 3. And so it was already in everyone's mind that, nonviolent protest and people getting arrested. When Rosa Parks was arrested, she was arrested for not giving up her seat to to a white person. She got on the bus, and the bus driver told her, "Give up your seat to a white person." And she said, I don't want to do that. And so they took her off to jail. Now, because she had lived such a virtuous life, people saw right away that this was wrong. This was wrong. You throw a lady in jail who hasn't done anything except wants to sit in the front of the bus. And so she says, "No, I'm not going to move." And Hai Dao-din is similar because, you know, he ignores the ridiculous rules. You know, if they say you're not allowed to recommend vote no on the junta's draft referendum, he says, "I recommend vote no." And he ignores that ridiculous rule. And then he goes off to jail, and then he goes on a hunger strike. These are all the kind of tactics that were used during the American civil rights movement, and people feel very, very sympathetic when they see somebody behaving this way. And then he, you know, they said, you know, don't share news articles, and he shared the news article because that is a right that people ought to have. And you shouldn't have a law, just like you shouldn't have a law that makes black people suffer for the benefit of white people. You should not have a law that makes commoners suffer for royalty, to protect royalty. And at some point, I hope the Thai people are going to look at the situation and say, look, we are throwing so many innocent, good people in jail. These are the best people. These are the people that in the rest of the world they celebrate. They have days set aside to celebrate, you know, Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. And what do they do in Thailand? They throw Pai Dao-din in jail, the one who's the most like Rosa Parks.
So in your country and my country is very different about the politic way. So that is another different. And the Thai government, junta government say the security, national security is very important for the country, for protect the country. And lay majesty is the one is most important for the security, national security. That is the reason that we have to, you know, protect monarch, or even, you know, not allow any person to insult the monarchy. What do you think?
Well, I think that it was possible. It was a possible strategy that they managed to pull off when King Bhumibol was still alive. You know, maybe King Bhumibol had a secret that he had to hide, and he did manage to hide it, and there was stability. Okay, but this new king has secrets that are open secrets, and the world is not going to go along anymore with hiding the secrets. And you know, the things that King Vajiralongkorn has done and is suspected of doing are not going to be ignored. So, you know, the news articles about King Bhumibol are flattering. The news articles about Vajiralongkorn are not, and that is Vajiralongkorn's fault. It is not anybody else's fault. He's the one who divorced his wife and threw her relatives in jail, or allowed it to happen. He's the one who disowned 4 of his children. There's no getting around that. You know, and the world isn't going to ignore it. It's not a secret at all. And then you have to have people, you have to force people to be quiet and pretend they don't know what they know. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that is his privacy. Some Thai people say that his privacy, his life, his lifestyle.
Well, it's not a lifestyle if your wife is missing. You know, that is not part of a lifestyle that is acceptable. If your wife, you know, one person says that she's being abused, one person says she's dead. this is what is said to us. I don't know where the truth lies, but these this is a question that should be a question for, you know, the justice system. You know, when allegations like this are being made.
Maybe happen about the secret behind the throne in the future. What do you thinking, or what the world thinking about this?
Well, it's not a secret. I will tell you, and I can't say who this happened to, but I literally bumped into a woman, had an accident. We had to exchange information. And my information happened to have a card with some Thai stuff on it. This literally happened. I just randomly bumped into this woman. An accident happened. We exchanged some information. When she called me back, she said, "Oh, I see that you're interested in Thailand." And this has happened to me 2 different times. When somebody finds out I have a connection to Thailand, they start telling me about the secrets. And not secrets. So, you know, Thailand thinks they can keep a lid on this. It is there. It's already out there. It's done. You know, Thailand is going to have to find a way to deal with the fact that the whole world knows.
How do you know the secret that is fact or true or fake or something?
I think Thailand's going to have to come to terms with the fact that the whole world knows. You know, we've got an embarrassing president right now. Okay, the whole world knows. It's not a secret, and there's no point in us, you know, saying nobody's allowed to make fun of Trump. There's just no way we can go down that road. It just isn't viable.
Okay, the next movement about campaign for free pie or free political prisoner, or, you know, stop using Le Majesty. What the next step that you're going to move?
I think it's possible that we'll put out a press release still about Pai Dao Din and just send it to all the news organizations and try to keep the ball rolling. He seems to be the most sympathetic case. However, there's a new case. I think you know about. His name is, and I have to scroll down to what his name is, but his name I think is Burin Intin. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Is that his name? Okay. Well, his case, he got 11 years, just like Tom Dundee, and he's another one that they just picked out because he's a pro-democracy activist. And he's the one who wrote something, we don't know what it was, in a private Facebook message. And somehow the junta government got a hold of the information in a private Facebook message. We still don't know how. Then they took him in and they slapped him, according to him, they slapped him 4 times in the face and said, "Give us your password." And he wouldn't give out the password. And they said to him, they threatened his life. They said, "You surely won't survive. You won't be able to get out. If you don't tell me, I will take you somewhere where you'll face even harsher treatment." Now, so after slapping him, he says he still didn't give out that information, but somehow they had it. And also, I think that maybe the world remembers the mother who was arrested on Mother's Day for saying "yeah" in a Facebook message. So, you know, somebody said something Lese Majesty content to her, and she just said "yeah" or and she got pulled off to jail. Now, the only reason they took her off to jail was to try to get at her son, John Yu. And he's a pro-democracy activist. So on the slimmest excuse, they will drag people off to jail, and they'll even drag their mothers off to jail to try to get at them. Now, the person who John Yu's mother said "yeah" to in a private Facebook message was Burin Intin. this person who just got 11 years. Now, all this is done behind the scenes. We don't even know what was said. They pretend like it's so you know, detrimental to national security that they can't even be mentioned. But it could be that he said something like, "I don't like the king." He might have said, "Why can't we criticize the king?" Or he might have made a joke about the king's dog. And so, you know, we don't know what he said, and they won't tell us what he said, so they just invite everyone to imagine the worst. But it might have been nothing. It might have been nothing. And he's got 11 years, just like the people who insult the Prophet Muhammad. And his case isn't even being featured because there's just so many lèse-majesty victims, you hardly have energy to follow up on all of them. But it's outrageous. So, yeah, I think the next thing we'll do is we'll do something for Burn Inton, and then we have to get back to Somyat Pruksaka Samesuk. Because he's another one who seems just like a Martin Luther King. Because he was a editor who, he didn't even say the lèse-majesty thing. He didn't even write it. He published 2 articles. And so he won't confess to lèse-majesty. Most people confess hoping they'll get a lenient sentence. But he won't confess. So therefore he sits for 5 years in jail just, you know, waiting. He probably could have been out by now if he had confessed and then asked for a pardon. But he's making a statement. And so he's another one who's very much like Martin Luther King that we want to do next. Also, we have we are in contact with his wife, and she's given us a letter that says that, you know, they're harassing him and they're harassing all the prisoners by, they originally had to buy their own blankets, pillows, and mattresses. But then they took them away, and they claimed it had to do with drugs, but it doesn't. And only lets them have like a couple flimsy blankets, not any mattress. And they all have to sleep side by side touching each other, whether they have skin diseases or whatever. They have to sleep side by side touching each other and touching the toilet. And that's the way they're being treated in prison, and it's just harassment. You know, keep writing letters and keep sharing information, put out press release to the newspapers. And we're also, we have already asked the king, the new king, to release the lèse-majesty prisoners. If he wanted to go, you know, straight to being a hero, he could do it. Now, we asked him to do it. We wrote a very nice letter saying, you know, this is the way that you could, you know, remove the shame that is the lèse-majesty law from Thailand. Thailand could go back to being a leader in the region in human rights, like it used to be. And I think that people would forgive a lot of this other personal stuff if he would be the one to remove the lèse-majesty law and let Thai people talk about their political future. I think he would go straight to being a hero.
How you going to send that letter to him, to the king?
Oh, it was already sent.
Sent to what? To where? His office?
It was, yeah, to his office. We had somebody send it from within Thailand.
Okay.
Improve instantly if he would free the lèse-majesty prisoners. And in fact, I think that a lot of the red shirts had a lot of hope that this would happen.
Thank you so much, and คุณแอนนอร์แมน
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ ครับนั่นเป็นบทสัมภาษณ์ของคุณแอนนอร์แมนนะครับซึ่งก็เป็นผู้อำนวยการบริหารของ ภาคีไทยเพื่อสิทธิมนุษยชนนะครับประเด็นเกี่ยวกับเรื่องของการเรียกร้องให้มีการปล่อยตัวคุณไผ่ดาวดินรวมทั้งได้มีการทำหนังสือถึงกษัตริย์รัชกาลที่10ของไทยในการที่ใช้มีการปล่อยตัวนักโทษทางการเมืองโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งนักโทษที่เกี่ยวข้องกับมาตรา112นะครับก็คงต้องติดตามกันดูว่าจะได้ผลเป็นที่น่าพอใจแค่ไหนอย่างไรนะครับเอาละครับนี่คือทั้งหมดของรายการเสียงไทยเพื่อเสรีภาพของคนไทยขอบพระคุณที่ติดตามรับชมมาคุยกันใหม่ครั้งหน้าวันนี้ลาไปก่อนครับสวัสดีครับ